Maxter is really broken up into three main pillars. The first pillar is intelligent business, so technology that's tailored to fit your business. We do a variety of different things within this pillar. We do cloud-based email, portals, document management, and workflows. This is anything SharePoint related. We do BI and dashboards and enablement training. Along that line, we also do customer connections, so customer reach and relationships. That's kind of what we'll be going over today. So anything CRM, marketing automation, and Salesforce enablement. We do mobile access and solutions, business process consulting, and integrated marketing, digital, and social media. So we'll really touch on this pillar today and hopefully offer you guys some great insights that you can utilize in your own company or in partnership with us and our partners. Lastly, Amaxra does dynamic workforces, so the power of the people. We do contract and temporary work, managed and outsourced services, permanent placement, facilitation, team building, and coaching. And we work closely with large corporations in the area to do those placements. I hope that gives you guys a little bit of insight to who we are and what we do. With that, I am happy to pass the torch over to Rick McCutcheon. Rick McCutcheon is one of Amaxra's main partners from Full Contact Selling. Rick is a CSP certified sales professional for Dynamic CRM, and he's an MVP in this area. Rick is highly knowledgeable, and I'm excited for Rick to share with you guys some of his best practices. So with that, Rick, I will pass the torch to you, and so we can get started on strategies and sales and CRM development.
Okay, Cassidy, that's great. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Thanks, Rick.
And do you see my screen?
I see all of your slides right now, and you look like you're set and ready to go.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending on where you're located. My name is Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamic CRM 365 MVP and certified sales professional. I work with Amaxra on Salesforce automation projects, so I'm very happy to be here today to talk about, what can we do to be more empowered through technology to sell more. So let's kind of jump into this. We'll talk a little bit about my background. I've been in Salesforce automation for over 20 years. As I said, I'm a CRM MVP. As well, I do a lot of speaking at most of the Microsoft conferences, and especially the user group conferences and the Extreme CRM. So this is kind of my life, doing Salesforce automation projects and working closely with partners like Amaxra and working on CRM. So let's talk about customer relationship management for a minute, CRM. CRM is a business philosophy. So when I'm working with my customers and we're looking at CRM, we're not kind of looking at how do we do something with technology. What we're doing is saying, let's take these pieces of technology, CRM, marketing automation, web-based technologies, and how do we pull them together to better manage our business ecosystem and to better manage the relationship with these people. So I say customer relationship management is a business philosophy that lets you know and manage your business ecosystem better. It allows you to share information more thoroughly and interact more completely. This can only be achieved by creating a system that integrates people, process, CRM, and related technologies. And remember, CRM is forever. It's not a type of project that's going to have a start date and an end date. So we're not going to say, hey, we've installed the CRM over the last 6 weeks. It's up and running. We're done CRM. No, really, your CRM project starts once the technology has been rolled out. So let's talk a little bit about ecosystems. So Rosabeth Moss-Cantor from the Harvard Business School talks about ecosystem this way, and I really think she kind of nails it. Ecosystem conveys the idea that all the pieces of an economy come together in particular places and that their strength and interactions determine prosperity and economic growth. Think of it as your garden where you need fertile soil, seeds, and other ingredients to make it grow. So this is how I look at customer relationship management. It's not just about the customer, it's about everybody in your ecosystem. So when we start looking at building those relationships and the value, I love what TechTarget has to say about Nucleus Research and what they say about the ROI, the return on investment for CRM. They said back in 2011, they said if you did CRM right, you got $5.60 return. Well, now they're saying in 2016, it was up to $8.71. So really, if you do CRM right, you manage your relationships, there's a large payback to your organization. Especially in the areas that I specialize in, Salesforce automation, we can see some, we run into companies where they've increased sales in actually millions of dollars due to this type of technology. And I kind of break down CRM into some different sort of sections when we talk about it. Salesforce automation is what we're talking about today, and that's kind of an old acronym we use, SFA, but it really works together with marketing automation. And this is why we've got our partner ClickDimensions here today, because they're really going to show you how to take Dynamics CRM and really power it up so it becomes that marketing tool and that content management tool that we all need. Now I see we have some questions coming in, and we'll take questions throughout at the end of the session. If you type something in the box, we'll try to get you an answer through the box as quickly as possible. The other areas we talk about when we talk about CRM in my world is customer service, field service, portals. This can become important on sales as well. Today I'm actually working on a project for a software reseller where we're taking CRM and extending it to their channel. So we're building a PRM system, a partner relationship management portal. And then we have things that we call XRM, where we can actually build different business applications on CRM. But today we're going to stay focused on those first two bubbles, Salesforce automation and marketing automation. So a lot of people on the call, or some of the people on the call, have already used Dynamics CRM. Some are very new to it. So I want to take a couple of minutes to go through some slides and just talk a little bit about what we get with this product. And I'm excited about the direction of Dynamics CRM, the way Microsoft's sort of taking it, bundling it into the 365 family. They're previewing some stuff for partners this week, and I've got to tell you that some of the new interfaces and the new functionality we'll be seeing this fall is really tremendous. So this product is really, really growing and becoming better all the time. So the main module we work with is Dynamics 365 Sales. We're going to have Jeff show you some of this application as we go on, but it's really how do we manage our leads, opportunities, accounts, how do we track competitors, those basic things that this product does so well. But I want to make sure that everybody understands that there's more to it. We have integrations to Office 365, Outlook, Excel, OneNote, and even SharePoint. So what we're doing here with the Microsoft product is we're pulling that whole desktop together. We're soon to be the leaders in mobility. So we've got a real plan around the Microsoft product where we deploy once and we can deploy it on, or we build once and we can deploy it on many different platforms. So currently you can use this product on your laptop, on a Surface, on a tablet, on a phone. It all sort of works the same way. So just keep in mind, wherever you are, your information is going to get to you. Some of the other things you may not be aware of within Dynamics 365 Online, you get a free version of Social Insights powered by Inside View. This is worth the price of CRM alone. So this is an application, sits inside of CRM, and let's say I go through and I'm looking I'm looking up Microsoft here in Social Insights. What it'll do is pull up a profile of that company. I can download this record directly into CRM. Now, for many sales reps, this is a sort of a godsend. We're probably not the best typists in the world, so any help we can get by looking up company information and pulling it into CRM, that's fantastic, as well as contact information. We can also go and track companies, track our customers, track our competition, what's going on in the marketplace, get that information pushed directly into our Outlook or back into CRM. So again, another very powerful tool that's part of this suite. Here's another thing that I'm getting very excited about, this whole world of Social Insights. This is another application that's bundled in with Dynamics 365 Online, and it allows you to go out and set up insights into what's being said on the web about yourself, your company, your partners, your competition, your industry, and bring that information back to you and tell you if this is a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment. This is great if you're tracking a customer and you want to see what's going on within their business. You can grab information out there, but it's even better if you're tracking your competition. Like, who's talking about your competition? Is it negative? Is it positive? And again, it searches Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these platforms to pull that information. Now, some companies I've talked with in the past said this is the #1 way they get their sales leads today. For example, if they're looking for somebody who's looking for marketing automation software, they're probably talking about it on the internet. They could pull that in and, hey, we've got a lead for ClickDimensions. So again, another powerful tool that can go in your sales arsenal. Another thing that can help salespeople is really the voice of the customer, which is all the surveys we have built into Dynamics CRM, or Dynamics 365 CRM, I should say. This allows us to work with a client, finish a project, and go survey on how we did. Data goes right back in to CRM and then applied against the customer, so we know, hey, how did we do? Are there some next steps that we should be taking? Or we can go to our account base on a quarterly, yearly situation and start to ask, hey, how are you doing? How are we doing for you? What can we help you with? All that type of thing. So again, this functionality, tremendous help in the sales. Portals, I talked about, I'm working on a project today around partner relationship management, but we can also do customer self-service portals, so customers can come in, request pricing, send you a new lead, log a ticket, get a hold of your knowledge base. So again, from a sales team perspective, your customers adding data to the portal, and it's just a great example of the technology that can be bundled together to help us sell more. Here's one that I'm looking forward to doing more implementations. A couple of years ago, Microsoft reached out and bought a company called Fantasy Sales Team. And what they did is they bought a gamification application that, again, is now available as part of Dynamics 365 Sales. What this application allows us to do, it creates a game within CRM, or I'll say a gaming environment. And this is really, really good if you have a millennial sales team, younger sales team, and they're used to this whole gaming culture and want to bring gaming into their business. So it doesn't make a game out of what you do, it makes a game out of what you do in CRM. So for example, we've got Amelia here. Amelia can go in and add a lead to the CRM system, and let's say we gave her 10 points. She converts that lead to an opportunity, she may get another 10 points for that, for qualifying it. If she closes that opportunity within 30 days, maybe Amelia gets a bonus 20 points. And if that value of that opportunity was over $50,000, maybe she gets another bonus 20 points. If she sold an extended warranty or a maintenance agreement with that opportunity, maybe she gets another 10 points. All of a sudden, Amelia's, pulling together all these points, and she's moving up the dashboard, because all the sales reps will be on a central dashboard kind of competing against each other. And when we look at the results of the study done on gamification and sales, this really works. What I like about this application, though, Microsoft's taking this to a different level. And this is where the fantasy sales team came into play. I can now say, let's say I've got 20 sales reps out there. I can break my sales reps into 4 teams of 5 and let Amelia sit through a player draft and actually draft her team. So next thing you know, we've got 4 teams competing against each other, and Amelia, being one of my top reps, is now the pushing her team forward to win the competition. The fantasy side comes in here is that your other employees can come in as cheerleaders and support a team. So now you've got people throughout the organization saying, hey guys, get out there, convert more leads, close more opportunities. And you know what? This really, really works. I've been around a few of these projects over the last couple of years. Exciting times, and kind of putting some fun into selling. So this is all great, and we're talking about kind of building that process. How do we do it? How do we get it done? So I'm going to take you through some slides now that just sort of talk about how we pull all this together. And this is a very simple diagram. And if you're in the world of sales, I get a lead, qualify a lead, make it a prospect, close that prospect, it becomes a customer. Well, if you don't use CRM, this is what happens. And I guarantee this is what happened. I've been in hundreds of companies over the last 20 years doing this, and if they don't use a CRM to track things, it all falls apart. So basically from CRM, we're just trying to pull everything together so we can look at it strategically. We know what things are happening within our process, and things don't fall through the cracks. And those cracks are really everything to do with that lead and why we lose leads. So let's talk about lead generation and what we're doing. So in the world of lead generation, when I'm sitting down working with a customer right from the beginning, I'll say, okay, right now let's assume you have a close rate on new leads coming into your organization 20%. Well, we can use CRM, we can use ClickDimensions, we can build a process that's repeatable, that's closed, where we don't lose information. Do you think I can improve that rate of closure from 20, 30 to 30%? Most people say, absolutely, Rick, we can do that. Well, if we have a close rate of 20% and now we have a close rate of 30%, we've just increased sales from those leads by 50%. That's the power of technology and sales and building a repeatable process. And this is why companies like a Maxtra, when they're coming in and looking at your CRM business, will always say, let's talk about your process. How do you work your process? How do we do it better? So from a process side of things, from a time management side of things, I've got several videos I've done with a Maxtra in this area, but we can talk about the value of selling time. According to Pace Productivity, the average salesperson spends about 23% of their time selling. That means if they have a quota of $1 million, then each 1% of their time is worth $43,478.26. If we can build that process within CRM, do a better job of lead management, can we get them to spend more time selling? Absolutely, because most salespeople, that's what they want to do, spend more time selling. So with that value on leads, if I can get them to move from 23 to 30% or even to 40%, I've taken that rep from $1 million in sales to $1.7 million in sales. That's a big, big increase by just consolidating and building a process and using technology. So when we're looking for an ROI on CRM, it's all about the data, it's all about the process and what we do with that data and process, and much less to do about the CRM itself. So CRM, what we do when we work with a Maxtra is we look at what is that social selling process. How does your customer buy from you? How do they interact through the web? How do things like LinkedIn, your website, YouTube, Facebook, Google, Twitter, all these places sort of come together within your buying process and sales process? And I'm sure we're going to have ClickDimensions really show you how ClickDimensions can be the underlying technology that becomes the net and grabs all the leads from these different sources. Prospecting today, and I kind of stole the ClickDimensions slide for this, and I use this in almost every sales presentation I do. Prospecting today is all about email marketing, web intelligence, lead scoring, campaign, automation, SMS messaging, form capture, surveys, landing pages, social discovery, and events. It's not about cold calling anymore. It's about content, pushing content out there, getting people to react to that content, and pulling them in your sales process, which leads to how do we build a repeatable sales process. And I don't have time today to really drill into this, but we have several videos we've done earlier with a Maxtra where we talk more about the specifics of building that process within CRM. And finally, once we close somebody, they become a customer, how do we build that account management process? Again, very important, very structured, and that's the way we've got to use technology, we've got to understand our processes, pull it all together, make sure things don't fall through the cracks, and then we move things to close on a structured basis. So from a planning perspective, I teach full-day courses in this, right? But basically, it breaks down into three things. design your perfect process. What do we want to do with leads? What do we want to do with opportunities? What do we want to do with projects? What do we want to do with account management? What do we want to do with our billing process? And again, today I'm working with a client where we got whiteboards full of process drawings, and that's what you need to do. Understand what you want to do in your process. Turn around and customize your CRM or your Dynamics 365 to meet that process. And part 3, user adoption. User adoption will be easy once that process is into the system, because people will use it because it's built for them. It makes their job easier. On that, I'm going to hand this off to Jeff, who's going to kind of show you Dynamics 365 sales and show you some of the foundations for this process we're talking about. Over
Thanks,
to you,
Rick. Fantastic job there. Appreciate you talking about that. I really loved your point about how increasing revenue, you can increase your revenue by increasing your salespeople's selling time. I mean, that's so obvious, but it really drives home. So, as Rick said here, I'm going to be talking about Dynamics 365 as a CRM. It's formerly known as Microsoft Dynamics CRM. A little bit of a name update there as they rolled it into the new Dynamics 365 family. And hopefully you should all be able to see my screen here, but I'm going to do a walkthrough of a couple of different parts of Dynamics here. I'm going to give you just a quick visual of dashboards, leads, contacts, accounts, and opportunities. And so what we're looking at right now is a dashboard, and this is the sales dashboard that is kind of an out-of-the-box thing. Everything that I'm going to show you today can be customized and configured and really should be tailored to your particular company's individual needs, because that's really where this product shines. But this is a really good starting point, because you can see on this dashboard that is kind of built for like an individual salesperson type role. You've got a list of activities, and you can either look at recent activities or upcoming scheduled activities like phone calls and tasks, and well, emails would usually be ones that aren't scheduled but are recent activities. And you can look at, okay, I'm a salesperson, here's a list of my open opportunities that I'm pursuing. And here's another list of open leads that I've got. And over here in the bottom left, we've got accounts that I have that assigned to me. But you can do more than just list views here. You can also do all sorts of different charts and graphics inside of these dashboards. And so here I've got a sales pipeline. In this demo, I've only got opportunities that I've created that are in the qualify stage. But when you've got more than that, several different stages of opportunities, you can get a really awesome visual indicator of how those opportunities are progressing through the funnel as they're getting further qualified and closing them down. And you can look at bar charts, things like, okay, well, here are my top customers as an individual salesperson. And I'll dive a little bit more into all these topics, but I wanted to start with dashboards, because that's usually where your salesperson will land when they open up the system. I also want to show you another dashboard here, and this is going to be the sales performance dashboard. And you'll note that I clicked this drop down here, and I can create as many dashboards as I want, either for system-wide or for myself or shared with individual teams. But on the sales performance dashboard, we've got a little bit of a different type of theme going on here. We've got again, an opportunity pipeline, and that can be built to either show for the team or as an individual user. But you've also got charts here that have sales goals, which can be configured in the system. So you can say, here's my sales goal, and here's a chunk of a bar chart that goes up towards actual money that's closed down, and a chunk of the bar chart that shows here's the amount of money that we have in the pipeline. So you can kind of tell how close you are getting to that goal. And that's really awesome. It's just another way to look at that information. You can also do all sorts of fun different things here, and compare deals won versus lost by either revenue or deal count, all sorts of fun things there. Anyway, now I want to move over to leads and how we look at leads in the system. So I'm going to go up here and click this menu drop down, and most of the stuff that we're interested in is in this sales section because this webinar is focused on sales after all. And I'm going to click leads here, and that lands me on another list view, which, okay, but if I double click and open up one of these leads, I'll see a user interface that gives me more information about leads, and it has all the things that you would expect of a contact management or customer relationship management system here. Simple things like, okay, so this lead has some sort of topic line and the person's name, first name, last name, job title, all those fields. Other cool things are, this is a phone number field, and so if I have Skype for business with external calling, I can actually just click on this link and have it open up the phone and dial through Skype right from the web browser. And that's just a really awesome little thing that is a huge efficiency improvement. And when it does that, it'll actually go and open up a new, hey, do you want to create a phone call record? Another little touch that just makes a huge difference in the operational efficiency of a salesperson. You know, if you can take something that used to take a minute and drop it down to 30 seconds, and they did it 100 times a day, they just saved a lot of time every single day, all year long. Emails, of course, if I click the link, it'll open up a new email to the person through Outlook, or whatever your default email client is configured to be, company information. And here's an important call out. I want to point out that I have information that relates to an individual person, like first name and last name, as well as information that relates to a company here. And you see those two things grouped together on a lead, because a lead is usually, hey, we have some information coming in. Maybe someone decided to download a white paper from our website and we had them fill out a form capture on the web page, and that fed into the system. Well, we haven't vetted that. We don't know if this is a prospect or an existing customer or anything like that. Maybe they put in the name John Doe and a burner email address. So leads are usually information coming into the system that needs a salesperson or marketing person to look at it and vet the lead to verify that the information here is accurate. And then when it goes from that to something where you want to track revenue, like an opportunity, you see a little bit more information done as that is qualified. So, all right, moving on here. I want to point to this section of the page here. I've got 3 different tabs up top: posts, activities, and notes. Activities are really awesome because I can add something like a phone call activity and say, I left the guy a message, and I'm just going to click a little checkbox here that says left voicemail, and that's going to make it so that I can search for how many phone calls I had and how many phone calls I had where I clicked the left message box, and do roll-up statistics comparing. And now I'll see that that just popped into the system as a new outgoing call to this lead, Robin Counts. And it's really fast and easy to track information with a system like Microsoft Dynamics. I can add stakeholders or competitors, and a lot of this information is going to be too much for some companies, but that's why you want to have a partner work with you and really examine your business process. And when Rick was talking all about business process, having the difference between a system like this that gets massive user adoption, people love it, they think it's really efficient and automated, and one where people say, it didn't work for us, is one where you look at, okay, did we have someone really look at our process and say, we never add stakeholders, let's hide that or get rid of it. We never add competitors, let's hide that or get rid of it. And then all of a sudden you've got a user interface where it's much cleaner, it's much crisper, it's not cluttered. You have exactly the information that you need to track, only the information you need to track, and it just goes really smooth when you do something like that. All right, next we've got this little section up here, and in this green ribbon bar area, let me move that, I can expand it and I can collapse it, and you've got several different stages here. All of these stages are configurable. We've got a qualify, develop, propose, and close, and qualify, usually that's going to be information pertaining to the lead. Develop, propose, and close would be information pertaining to like an opportunity or a quote or an order, but you can change what all of these stage names are. You can change which record types these are with regards to, and you can change which fields are displayed in here. But it's kind of interesting in that you don't have to say, okay, well, my opportunity is, or my lead is in the, hey, I just started working on this stage. It automatically updates the stage as you start entering information into the system. So if I go here and I click purchase time frame next quarter, now you can see that that's filled out and there's a checkbox marking complete. And so it just really automates as many parts of the job of doing sales as possible so that you can spend your time on the phone with customers and not entering data in the system, keeping statuses updated, and configuring statistics for reporting manually. So we call this a business process flow, and it's something that's an option for the system. You can have it there, you can not have it there, but it can add a lot of value. All right, now I want to move on to talking about contacts and accounts. So we have contacts, and again, you're going to see a list view when I select contacts from the menu here, and I'm going to select Ivan here. And you're going to see a lot of the same sorts of concepts as we were talking about with leads. You've still got this ability to add activities, whether it's a phone call or a task or an appointment, an alert, approval, booking, whatever. And by the way, with emails, you can either send them from the system itself or send them from Outlook. Lots of different options there. If you opt for the ClickDimensions marketing automation plugin, they've got even more advanced functionality for emailing from the system. Again, you've got information here, but what you'll notice here is you don't have fields that are about the account type. You have a lookup to reference which account this contact is associated to, but that's all. And that's because all of this information now is about a contact. And again, more detailed information. Don't need to go through all of this, but it's good to know that all of that's there. It's also really awesome to note that on a contact or an account, you'll see these boxes over here for a list of recent cases or opportunities or entitlements if you're doing tech support within the system or you're selling. And so that's a really awesome little note there as well. And again, just a quick view over at accounts here. Oh yeah, one of my favorite things about accounts is that when you enter in a phone number on an account record here as like, the office's main phone, and then you go and you create a new contact that is associated to the account. Say I go over here and click a plus sign, enter in some contact info. Not going to do that at the moment, but when I do that, it'll automatically populate things like the main address for the account and the main phone number for the account, so you don't have to worry about, okay, well, if I know their main office phone number, I create the account and I put that in once, it automatically populates as the default business phone number on all of the contacts that are associated to that account. You can override it and say the guy has a direct line and you know what the direct line is, you can do that, but it's really cool and interesting to have little features like that where you've got 30 contacts at a single account and you want to just not have to worry about, adding the phone number to all of them after you add them. Fun stuff. Anyway, tons of information that you can collect on an account. Some of that has to do with things like, hey, I want to, have a currency for billing associated and things like that. And some of it's things like, hey, I want to know which industry this account is in. Maybe they're in consulting, and I want to have that noted. That way I can change my messaging and make my messaging custom tailored to the types of industries that account is in. And by the way, so if I go to the menu here and I select either contacts or accounts, any of these records, I then see this option here, and I can select the second drop down, and it'll pull up a list of recently accessed accounts. It's really valuable if you're working with the same accounts frequently because you don't have to try and do searches or look at a really long list. You can just go, oh yeah, who did I recently access? This guy. Awesome. And next up on our docket here is opportunities. And For opportunities, I'm actually going to go over here back to leads because I want to show you a really cool feature and functionality. I'm going to select Peter Houston here, and when I'm working with a lead, which the data might have came in through someone downloading a white paper or something like that, I can actually just go straight over here and click qualify once I feel this is ready to become a contact, an account, and an opportunity. And it will create 3 new records in the system. It will create a contact record with the first name, last name, phone number, all that fun stuff. It'll create an account record with the company information down here. And it will create an opportunity record. So I'm going to do that here. And it does take just a second to do that when I click the box, but that's because it's creating several new records in the system all at once. And I think I got an error message there because I was not being patient, but it did work, and click the same box 7 times while I was waiting for it. But here I now am looking no longer at a lead record, but at an opportunity record. And so this is the opportunity that it created, and you can see that it created the contact from that lead and the account from that lead, and it associated all of the bits of information that I had about that. And that's just a really awesome way to speed up your sales process, stop copy and pasting information, get the information in once, preferably in an automated method, and just keep it there and follow that information through the process. All right, I think that's about the scope of my presentation here, so I'm going to be handing it over to Nicole with ClickDimensions to talk about marketing automation.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, Nicole, we can hear you. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I'll share a couple of slides with you all and go through a couple things, but my name's Nicole Stein. I'm with ClickDimensions. We are a marketing automation solution, and ClickDimensions, as Rick had mentioned, it is a whole host of features that are available to you inside of your CRM. So how we're different and unique compared to many of the other email marketing or automation solutions out there is that ClickDimensions is built inside of your CRM. We don't live inside of any other CRM, so we focus very highly on that integration. Everything is seamless and done real time, and we connect to your CRM, and you would then create your marketing materials, your activities inside of CRM, and then also automate them, and then evaluate your results all in the same place. So instead of going through slides here, I'm going to run through a couple of live demonstrations, very much like Jeff did, to show you what ClickDimensions looks like. So here's my CRM. I'm using Dynamics 365, and if I click on the navigation at the top, you can see within the marketing options, we have our out-of-the-box features, and then all of these entities that ClickDimensions adds to your CRM. Now we have those under marketing as well as under settings, and then we provide you with a quick tab as well so that you can see all of those marketing features all in one place. But it's a great way to create your emails, like I said. In here, under your email marketing options, you can then analyze that data. We provide tracking scripts so that our customers can track their web visits all inside of CRM. You can create forms and surveys as well, and then bring all that data into CRM and analyze it from there to see what your customers' thoughts are, or bring in new leads as they come in from a new web form or a contact us form. We also provide web content, bulk text SMS messaging, and some event management tools as well. And then we have some new features that I'm going to talk about in a moment. We'll get to those very shortly. But some of the things that many of our customers love to be able to see are analytics on the emails that they send out. And we can see this example here is looking at the web analytics that came back from one of our email sends. This is one of our newsletters that we sent out. And we can see a whole host of data that comes back from the recipients of that newsletter. How did they view the newsletter? Did they click on a link that converted them to our website? And what are the most popular links inside that newsletter that people are clicking into? Now, sending out newsletters is one thing, but another thing, a whole different thing, is being able to capture data inside of CRM and automate processes and marketing actions right after those come in. So I'm going to show you next our campaign automation and how that works, because that's the cool fancy feature of ClickDimensions. This is one of our campaign automations. This is an ebook nurture. So what we did here is we started with a blank canvas and we built out our sales process. We started with a contact us form, and I'm going to quick show you what that form looked like. That's on our website. Our customers go on, or contacts or new leads go onto the website, enter in their name and their information, and submit this form that was created inside of ClickDimensions. And then that data gets transmitted directly into your CRM, and then you can have those actions against it for your campaign automation. So let's go back to that campaign automation. The campaign automation would then provide you with some options like a decision node where you can track different criteria for those people that are entering that data in. Are they in a specific industry? Are they located in a specific area or country? And then from there you might triage those leads that come in to a different group of people or a different sales rep. And then from there, with a campaign automation, you can create actions inside of CRM that kind of follow that same process and flow that Jeff talked about and showed you inside of CRM, that a sales rep would be notified and assigned that particular lead. And then from there, the system would wait a couple days and then send a follow-up email to that contact or lead, asking them what they thought about that particular ebook that they registered to receive. And what you can do is track that interaction. Did that customer or contact click into that email that you sent out? And this is taking just a moment to refresh. So I apologize for that. But what you can do is choose many different emails to go out. Maybe you want a different communication message to go to those that are within an architecture industry, or you want a different email to go out to those that are in Texas versus North Dakota. You might have different messages, but you still want to track the interaction with that email. So you can have this email, for example. You can also have a different email that that would be sent out automatically after that person submits that request for the ebook, and then you select which links are most important to you from that email, and then direct that contact down the correct path. It's going to lead them into further engagement, maybe with your sales reps, and a follow-up from your sales rep. Granted, that person who had submitted that form request had already received an email asking them what they thought, and that email came from whoever was listed as the owner inside of CRM. And for this instance, it came from Jake, who manages the architecture and engineering customers. Now, we can also track the lack of engagement with that customer or contact. If they do not engage with an email, we can continue to nurture that contact, adding in communication messages via email as well as wait timers. Now, when you do have an interaction with a customer with this whole process, you can choose to engage with them via email by just dragging that email over and then selecting the email for that communication, or you can also utilize SMS text messages using a sender like Twilio to send a text message asking them what they thought. This is a great way to lead up to events as well, reminding people of a meeting that they have or an event that you are hosting that they're registered to attend. With campaign automation, you can also see statistics of who's running through this campaign all at one time. Now, my demo doesn't have any data, but you can get the idea of how popular certain routes might be or certain paths might be for your customers or contacts. Now, in the interest of time here, I know we don't have too much time left. I'm going to entice you with a couple of the new things that we're going to be starting with ClickDimensions in the very near future as well. So let me just get back to my PowerPoint here. And I'm going to skip down a couple of slides, so I apologize for the quickness of this. So with campaign automation, you have the ability to send out a whole host of emails and messages to your contacts, whether that be via email or SMS text messaging. You can also track who's getting to your website, what kind of conversions you're getting from the interactions with those emails and text messages, and you can track all of that data inside of CRM. All of that data will come back. You'll be able to see how people are getting to your website, if it's from an email that you sent out, or if it's from a blog post or a Facebook post, and all of the leads that come in, and actually track your ROI. We have a great ability to utilize the CRM reporting functionality to create dashboards specific to your sales reps. So your sales reps can see what kind of interaction their customers or prospects or leads are having with the company. If they're filling out forms, if they are checking out different web pages on your website. Now for some of the new things that we're going to be adding very shortly with ClickDimensions, we're going to be adding a lot more in terms of social posting, social engagement, social listening, and even employee advocacy. Within ClickDimensions, you'll be able to create and schedule posts for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you'll be able to schedule them to go out at certain times. And then you'll also have the ability to track the engagement that you're getting on leads and your social interactions, listen for certain things that people are talking about. The dashboard that you see here really shows you how the system will match inbound leads to the original social post, and whether that post links to the leads links the leads to either your website or a landing page or a third-party site. It's going to track all of that. And then you can track your engagement as well.
And Nicole, this is Cassidy. Just on that note, we did have a question from the audience. How can you add social media in ClickDimensions using Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn? It sounds like they may need some support on this area as well, so we can follow up with them after to get their campaign running, but just adding to that if you have any additional insights.
Yes. So in the interest of time, I'd love to follow up with you after this call one-on-one, just so that I can make sure to give you enough time to run through how that would work and your different options that you have within ClickDimensions to engage with the social features. Some of these features are going to be added. They're working on them now. They'll be available late summer, early fall. And then with this social engagement chart, these analytics here, you can see some of the different ways that you can gather data. You can capture information about the demographics of those that are clicking on your social shares, whether that be Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. You can gather in new leads from your social engagements. And what we've seen with this is up to an increase of 34% of inbound leads when you're really engaging with social and tying the social data into both your marketing solution and your CRM. Everything is built together, so you get to analyze all that data together as well. This little calendar shows you an example of how you can schedule your posts and have them go out at a different time. And I don't have a picture here, but with With social engagement, we also have the ability to provide you with advocacy. So social media managers can designate different advocates within their organization, or maybe partners or customers, to share content and put that out on their own individual social pages. And this is really great because you get to increase your brand awareness. But not only that, you can take it so many steps further with ClickDimensions inside of CRM and these new social features, where you'll get to see all of those analytics in one place. So not only can you see what marketing is sharing on different social sites, but you can also see what kinds of new leads, new clicks you're getting from the shares of your employees and your partners through the advocacy channel. To sum it up, every single social click is tracked and registered, just like all of our website tracks are done. In closing, for ClickDimensions, we have a lot of really great marketing materials that are available free to anyone who's interested, some of which you can register to receive, and then others you can download with just one click. It's very easy to do so. It's a great way to learn more about email marketing and social marketing in general, as well as learn more about ClickDimensions and how we have that complete integration with Microsoft Dynamics CRM or 365. So with that, in the interest of time, I'll hand it over to you, Cassidy, and I want to thank you all for your time.
Thanks, Nicole, Rick, and Jeff. That was really valuable, and as always, I even picked up on a few new things myself, so I appreciate everybody's time in teaching us some new things here. Let me just get to the right slide. Sorry about that. It pulled me up on the wrong one here. In closing, again, thank you everybody for your time. I will be following up with each of you. I will send you a link to our deck. As Rick mentioned during his presentation, we do have videos available on the Amaxra website that goes kind of into some of the sales strategy ideas, so I'd encourage you guys to check that out. We are also going to be offering a $50 Amazon gift card and an Amaxra swag bag. There's a bunch of different ways to get entered into the contest. I'm going to quickly run through these for you guys. You can invite colleagues or friends to our next webinar, which is happening next month. More information for that to follow. You can complete our survey about the webinar, which will be sent to you guys in a follow-up link that will also allow you one entry. You can share your attendance at this workshop on social media by checking into Amaxra's physical location, and we'll give you another entry. You can claim your voucher to receive a live demo with a CRM expert. That will also be one entry. If you'd like to schedule a live demo and we can evaluate your current environment and just see if we're somebody that would work as a partner for you and offering some sales strategy solutions, you can contact me. My email's here at the bottom, and I'd be happy to set that up with a member of our team. And then lastly, we also do customized in-house workshops. So these are strategy planning workshops that are specific to your organization. They go into customized sales and marketing processes, and they're tailored for user adoption, and really what they do is ensure long-term success for your company so that the CRM solution is implemented properly and it's going to be most beneficial to you and everybody on your team. By booking one of our in-house workshops, that also gives you 2 entries. The winner will be announced on social media and also to you personally via email, and I look forward to connecting with each of you. Please go ahead and note my email down here at the bottom, and I will be following up with you in the next day or so to get you all of this information as well as the deck. Thanks again for joining our call today, and we hope that you found it a valuable use of your time. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.